Every marketing strategy relies on four specific variables working in total sync. Because these elements are interdependent, a single point of failure in a pricing or distribution plan can cause the entire business model to collapse. At its baseline, a marketing strategy is highly logical. A business defines a clear objective, identifies a specific target market, and pairs it with the correct marketing mix to reach them. Nike executes this by targeting a massive demographic. Instead of limiting their promotions to professional athletes, they define their market as everyone with a body, ensuring their message reaches the widest possible audience. Reaching a target market requires four elements to work in absolute harmony: product, price, place, and promotion. But if a company engineers a great product, yet prices it 25% higher than competitors, the overlap dissolves. The strategy fails because the mix is no longer balanced. Reciting the 4 Ps is basic knowledge. To earn top marks, you must evaluate what actually happens to a business when it attempts to alter this mix to achieve growth. Expansion inherently destroys standardization. This forces a company to weigh the heavy costs of adapting its strategy against the potential revenue of a new market. Take Jawbone. They were a dominant player in the fitness tracker industry that failed to adapt as their products reached the maturity stage of their life cycle. Consumer demand moved toward advanced hardware. Users began expecting features like built-in GPS and accurate heart rate monitoring as the new standard. Competitors like Fitbit and Garmin responded by engineering those exact features into their devices while maintaining competitive prices. Jawbone refused to innovate their physical product, yet they kept charging a premium price. The tracker no longer offered enough technological value to justify its cost. This chart shows the resulting divergence. Right at the point of feature stagnation, competitor market share climbs while Jawbone's line begins plummeting. Avoiding R&D costs can protect short-term margins, but it leads to total market rejection when the product-price ratio no longer reflects consumer reality. To avoid domestic stagnation, companies look abroad. International expansion spreads financial risk across different economies and unlocks millions of potential new customers. But crossing borders introduces cultural friction. A business runs straight into different dietary restrictions, religious beliefs, and lifestyle norms. Domino's uses a hybrid approach. They keep costs low by using a standardized bread and cheese base globally, but they swap in localized toppings like seafood in Asia or curry in India. McDonald's in India uses more extreme adaptation. To respect Hindu dietary requirements, they overhauled their core menu to remove beef entirely, replacing it with the chicken Maharaja mac and McSpicy paneer. Adaptation is also driven by local income. Toyota targets high-income countries with luxury models like the Lexus, while selling rugged, feature-light vehicles at competitive prices in lower-income regions. This is the core strategic trade-off. Brands must decide if the sheer revenue volume of a successful international launch justifies the massive supply chain costs of bespoke localization. The final disruptor of the marketing mix is government regulation. These are strict legal controls designed to stop misleading promotions, faulty goods, and inaccurate weights. Complying with these laws protects a business from the lawsuits and product recalls that can bankrupt a brand. By consistently delivering safe goods, a company secures the long-term reputation needed for growth. However, compliance carries an operational burden. It requires investing in precise machinery, sourcing higher quality materials, and funding exhaustive quality assurance testing. As manufacturing costs stack up, a business must raise prices to protect margins. But illegal competitors exploit this gap. By ignoring safety laws to slash prices, they pull budget-conscious consumers away from compliant brands. Despite that competition, compliance is non-negotiable. Failing to meet changing legal requirements can bring a company's entire production line to a dead stop. While these laws protect consumers, they act as a permanent weight on profit margins. A brand must be able to justify its higher prices through superior quality to remain viable. Looking across these case studies, it is clear that no universal, perfect marketing strategy exists. This is a risk versus reward matrix. It maps the cost of adapting a strategy on the x-axis against the potential growth on the y-axis. This framework is essential for structuring high-level exam answers. For a small business with a tight budget, maintaining a standardized domestic product is the safest path, even if it leads to stagnant growth. For a multinational, incurring the high costs of cultural adaptation and legal compliance is a necessary investment to achieve global dominance. When you write your evaluation, avoid picking a single correct side. Instead, prove that the right choice depends entirely on the financial scale and specific objectives of the business. Success in business strategy comes from moving beyond the static checklist of the 4 Ps. It requires calculating the exact point where the scale of a reward justifies the friction of a pivot.